All right, everybody, how's it going? Sorry for the delay. We had a little bit of some technical difficulties figuring this all out for kind of the first time and making sure we've got all of our equipment ready. As you can see, we've got my buddy Andrew Mines with Mountainside BBQ Cleaning and Estate Services. Let's see. Tell me a little bit about you, Andrew, kind of your background, what got you into this, and then I'll kind of just ask some other questions as we go along.
Absolutely. So I got into the barbecue cleaning industry about 13 years ago. Just did it off the whim, saw a service that was needed in my community, and at the time I was 22 years old and college wasn't for me, and I knew I needed to do something if I wasn't going to go to college. So I thought, let's get in the service industry and see what happens. And 13 years later, here we are.
Nice. Okay. So 13 years later, I'm going to assume that that's not been in Park City all this time.
No, it hasn't been in Park City, and we're in the Heber Valley. Believe it or not, this past summer, my wife and I moved to Heber from the beautiful place of Southern California. And in Southern California, people love barbecuing due to the weather, and it was time for us to get out of California and start a new chapter in our life, and that is where we are today.
Nice, nice. So I know we've talked about it in the past. Obviously, I did know you were from California. I remember first time that we met actually was at a local mixer here.
It was.
You had only been here how long at that point?
Honestly, about a week and a half. In fact, I believe my wife was still unpacking boxes when I told her I'm going to the Red Ledges cocktail hour with the Chamber of Commerce, and I'll be back in a couple hours.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was a business event, so that was it was justified.
Yeah, no, that was a great event. So obviously, we met through the chamber at that particular event. Since then, though, we've been involved in quite a bit of chamber activity. Tell me some of the new things that you've been doing with the chamber. I know that you did a video recently for the chamber. We've kind of talked about it. Tell me of your experience with that and how that's actually helped you with your business here and helped you kind of get a little bit more established in the community.
Absolutely. So joining the chamber, the first chamber I've ever joined, and in a small town, being the new guy in town, I just thought I need to get my name out there. At the time, didn't really know anybody, and I thought, let's join the chamber to meet locals, also to get my business name out there, especially with a business that isn't as popular or hasn't been really introduced in the Utah area. And joining the chamber, I've met other business owners, have connected at many mixers, gone to many grand openings, and just kind of, I met people that I normally wouldn't meet if I was just walking through the grocery store, or if my wife and I were at a restaurant and ran into somebody. I love talking to people. In fact, I think sometimes I talk too much if my wife and I are out to dinner and I start talking to a stranger. But the chamber has helped me significantly, just meeting all sorts of people.
That's awesome. Yeah, I personally am a big fan of the chamber, as you know, big time advocate. Love what they're doing in our community. Speaking of chamber and chamber events, we've got an upcoming expo that's coming. It's made some changes, quite a few changes within these recent few weeks, but we'll be having a booth there for the Heber Valley business side of things, which you're also a part of.
Absolutely.
Excited to have you there, sit with us, and get to know some of the other businesses and network. I think there's some great opportunities. Tell me a little bit more about your business specifically and kind of what you do. I know we obviously have Mountainside BBQ, which is barbecue cleaning, but then you also have your estate side of things. Now, I know that that's kind of a broad term, so what exactly do you do with Mountainside Estate Services?
So Mountainside Estate Services is, in fact, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law kind of gave me the idea. They live up in Park City, and a lot of people up there, it's either their main residence and they travel a lot, or it's a vacation home for themselves. And while they are gone, Mountainside Estate Services goes in, makes sure everything is working properly. Plumbing, electrical, all the lights are turning on. We do exterior as well, your exterior lights, just making sure that your return home is as flawless as possible. It's a little different than property management, where we're not marketing your home to be rented out. It's more of a boutique, more on a personal level. We also have an a la carte service of, hey, we're coming in with some friends and family for 4th of July. Make sure either the barbecue, the oven is cleaned before our arrival, or hey, we haven't been to the house in 6 months. Can you go by there and start the vehicles in the garage? And just, people are coming back to their houses, and I want them to be able to walk into that house as if they're walking into a luxury hotel and saying, we don't have any issues. We're only here for 2 weeks, maybe a month. I don't have time to deal with, a plumbing issue, electrical issue, and we want our cars washed, and it is a vacation. Like I said, I want to be on a one-on-one relationship with everybody, to where they can call me and say, do you mind doing a grocery shopping run for us, so that the fridge is full of goodies before our arrival.
All right, so apparently I need to hire you so that my fridge can be full of goodies, because it's currently empty right now. That's awesome. I didn't know that it wasn't that it was kind of different than just like your typical property management. So you kind of just make sure that from the point of somebody leaving to the point of somebody coming back, that everything's situated where it needs to be, everything's fixed, working. Completely optimum to where you can really enjoy your time and on your vacation, right? So with that, speaking of vacations, what's your general grid on your service area so that others can know?
So the Deer Valley, the Park City, obviously Heber, we've got the whole Heber Valley service area, the vacation homes, like I said, in Deer Valley, the Glen Wild, Jeremy Ranch, kind of this 25, 30 mile radius of communities that we all live amongst. Yeah, like I said, most people that I've ran into, it's either their full-time houses and they love going elsewhere throughout the year. And another thing that I really think is important, and it's stress-free for the homeowner, is I provide video and photos either on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis of your home. So if something's broken, I give you a before photo and I give you an after photo, so that way you're assured that it got done. Whether the rain gutter's falling off the side of your house or the snow plow needs to come and clear your driveway for your arrival, everything is documented by photo and video, which I'm excited about. Yeah, eventually I'd love to move down into the Salt Lake, Draper communities, but right now I'd like to keep it more personal on this side of the mountain.
That's cool. That actually really sounds like a great service. I know a lot of people within my circles that are constantly looking for things like that, especially when you live in, snowland like we're here, where, we're dealing with this kind of snow that we've seen this year.
Yeah,
what a great time for you to move.
Yeah, no kidding. Everybody said, we hardly get any snow down here in Heber compared to Park City. Yeah, joke on me.
Oh, I moved here 5 years ago, and I had a year or two that I thought was pretty bad, but man, this year has really been something else.
I've learned what it means to really shovel a driveway.
Yeah. It's pretty brutal. So I know you'd mentioned a couple different service areas. I know you were sharing with me a story about how you started doing some work in Glenwyle, and one by one, more and more people would see you doing a barbecue cleaning before, obviously, all the snow came, and they'd see that and they'd be like, "Hey, could you do mine?" And you end up doing a whole block's worth. So, how does that work? Where can somebody schedule you, and then are you working with like property managements and stuff? Are you doing anything like that where
So local
whole
real
communities?
estate agents are huge.
Okay.
Whether somebody just purchased a home that they are using full-time or part-time. Also local businesses throughout our own community, working with each other, whether it's a local electrician, a plumber, a painter. We're all kind of communicating and putting the word out of each other's businesses. And then it's kind of just word of mouth. A place like the Glenwyle, it's a large community, but it's also very small as far as everybody knows each other. In the barbecue cleaning industry, which I'm sure most people have seen at one point driving up and down Main Street, you can't really miss the trailer. But just having the trailer parked out in front will get the neighbor kind of questioning, like, "Oh wow, didn't know there was that service."
Right.
And that's what this summer has really been about. From when I moved here up until that white stuff, that snow that you guys get, started falling from the sky. But the barbecue cleaning is year round, believe it or not, and I've learned that if you're born and raised in Utah, it doesn't matter if there's a blizzard coming in, but if you want to smoke that meat or grill those burgers, you're going to do it. And in fact, right now, if anybody schedules a barbecue cleaning between now and February 28th, they get $25 off as long as they put it on the calendar. It could be on the calendar for the middle of July, but as long as they schedule by February 28th, I'll honor that $25 off. But the estate service industry is obviously year-round. So if anybody has any questions as far as that, Facebook, my Instagram, Mountainside Estate Services, and always available for consultations.
Great. Now, how can they find you on Mountainside Barbecue?
Mountainside Barbecue, you can also find on Facebook. You can find on Instagram, and then on the Heber business page. I'm on there a lot, always posting things. And then I'm also in the Chamber's directory, and I'm just a text or phone call away. 949. I'm just kidding. That's Orange County.
Little plug.
435-395-9446. And always got the phone on me.
Cool. Yeah, so we're actually, since there's a lot to do with broadcast and production and everything with this, I'm still adjusting to this, obviously, as this is only the second show that has been a prepared show. But we will have a simple landing page that you can actually follow through this link at the bottom. It will, in the comments, actually all of Andrew's information will be provided there as far as both of his websites, how to contact him, and then there will be a landing page to where you can actually sign up for that $25. Was it $25?
$25 off.
$25. That's not percent. $25. I personally, I hear 25% most of the time, and I'm like, that doesn't really sound like a lot, but $25, like on a service like that, that's actually pretty substantial. So go to that link. You can sign up, and if you sign up by
February 28th,
it will be there for you to be able to basically redeem that coupon. So again, as you mentioned, it's pretty much, you could schedule that throughout the year. Just got to get it in before the 28th, so the end of February.
Absolutely.
So let's see. I was just kind of thinking about, some of our random get-ups. I know we love meeting over at Melvin's. grabbing a brew and just kind of talking business, talking what we can do within the community. Going back to something that you said previously, and I really love kind of your social spirit. Me being the introvert, which a lot of people will fight me on, and if you don't know me really well, you don't know how much of an introvert I actually am. Just due to the line of my business, I can come off as an extrovert, but I'm a hardcore introvert. I love how Andrew's always hitting me up. He's like, hey, you want to go out? You want to hang out? So he's always trying to pull me out of my element and into the community, which is great. And I love being able to, every time I go out to a chamber event, I'm always running into you. Before the event, usually you're reaching out like, hey, you going to be there?
Sure.
So I love what we have going on with our Heber Valley Business Group, the community there, the chamber. I quite frankly don't see them being any different, to be honest. We're all part of Heber Valley. That's kind of the focal point of this whole show, and really showcasing, the awesome businesses that we have within our community. So I myself, I'm really excited for Andrew's move here, getting to know him very early on at his time, moving here in Heber and everything else that we're going to be doing in the future. We've got some big plans, and I just love how plugged in with the community he's already gotten. Couple things that I was going to touch on, which I am obviously blanking on at this very moment. Oh man, it's funny. I had all these things in my head at one point, and then they kind of just floated away. But just community. I was thinking of. So little story about me, guys, to kind of explain why I haven't been around lately, and the show has kind of been pushed back. Ended up moving last minute, first of the year. Ended up rolling my truck in the same day. And the community has been just absolutely awesome. Andrew, for one, he's checked in every couple days, asked if I've needed anything. He's helped me pick up bed frame and all kinds of other different things throughout this whole experience, if you will. So I'm just so appreciative of him and what he's doing within the community. And I was going to do this before the podcast, but we had a lot of other things going on, so we'll drop this. But here is a happy holiday for you.
I appreciate that.
With my daughter and myself. That's just a thank you for just supporting us, supporting Heber Valley businesses, supporting the Hooked It Up show, and being on the show. We've got amazing things going on. Is there any last bit things that you would like to share? Anything that's going on? Is there any upcoming event that you have that you're being a part of, or anything that we should know about involving you and Mountainside?
Well, we've got the Heber Chamber, the home show coming up in just a couple of months, which I'm excited to be a part of that with you. Also, I'm planning on doing more of the advertising with more of the farmers markets once the farmers market season gets back into gear. But really just continuing to go to the chamber events, trying to help support the community. I look at it like it's such a small community, but it's big at the same time, where I now know, I believe, everybody in every industry, and which is awesome. And I mean, for only being here 6-7 months, I'm pretty excited about that. But I love the snow, but I'm also looking forward to sunshine and to be outdoors more, whether it's hiking, working, or just taking my dog over to the dog park with my wife. But yeah, I know 2023 is going to be an awesome year for both you and I. And to go back to when you were moving, you just mentioned, if you couldn't have picked a worse weekend to move because of the weather that we were experiencing.
Yeah.
And coming from California, it was like how do we just stay inside all day?
Yeah.
Like, do I not come out until spring? But from what I've learned is you move on. You move on with your day and you just continue with it.
Yep.
So props to you for being able to move during that time, and glad no injuries in that little car accident you got into. I also want to kind of, and it's big for me, and I always have to remind myself, is that from a young age, I always thought working for yourself was awesome, and it truly is. I mean, there's ups and downs, as we all know, but if I could turn back time and tell that, whether it was that 10-year-old me, because I have family members that from a young age that showed me, hey, I own a business, it could be a great thing. You know, you work for yourself. It's something that you get what you get out of what you put into it. And my biggest thing is if I can turn back time and tell myself that, yes, start a business and roll with it like I did all those years ago, I would tell myself it's going to be okay. And whether you're in high school or you're, 50 years old, if there's a business or an idea that you have out there, go do it, because I promise you, you're going to do great at it if you really are determined and you love what you do. I mean, you and I know multiple people that work for themselves, and it's just everybody's business is booming, and it's just, you got to take the chance. If you don't take the chance, you'll never know. You end up working for, it's nothing against somebody working for somebody else, but if you've got the mindset that, you got the vision to go out there and do it. And I mean, I've got buddies back in California that just took off with their businesses, and it's like, and here we are. I was 22 when I was knocking on customers' doors, and I'll tell you right now, they opened that door and thought, you're 22, what are you doing here? So at that age, I had to prove myself that much more and let people know, like, no, I'm in this for the long run. So it's it's fun, and moving from a different state and starting all over again is a heck of an adventure. I'm loving every minute of it, and I appreciate the support, business-wise, friendship-wise, that you've been helping me along the way, as far as giving me ideas on how to do this and that, which could be different from what I did before, and it's helping out significantly. But yeah, it's just, if you want something bad enough, just go do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're in your early 20s and you try something that doesn't work, guess what?
Yep.
Try it again. And try it again. If you're older and you've got an idea, give it a shot. So it doesn't work, okay.
Yeah, it's rare that success comes without failure, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. I mean, that's really inspiring. As I'm hearing you, I'm thinking, man, why aren't you, in front of a whole bunch of, high school kids doing a career day right now?
Because, well, as we've seen with my previous videos, I'm terrible on camera.
Hey, I think we've done pretty good. I'm not all that great myself either, but hey, we're making ourselves presentable. We're getting out there in the community, and we're doing it. And I think that's what I love about our community and what we're doing, and all the different business owners that we have. Like you said, it's really cool coming from, again, myself, Los Angeles, a much larger, city, and coming into a place where, within 6 months you get to know pretty much everybody, that's within the community, and figuring out how to support one another. And not to make this about me at all, but just, again, the support of the community. During this move, I can't tell you how many people have rallied around me, helping me move and get furnishing for my new place for my daughter and I, and that was a really humbling experience, and something that I've never been used to in Los Angeles.
No.
I mean, it doesn't matter where I was living.
No, and I mean, everybody that I know, I've got my friends and family in California that would drop in an instant for me, which, I mean, a few in particular have when I've been needing that hand here and there. But out here, and I even tell my wife all the time that it's like, wow, there's a difference with a small town like Heber, Park City, Deer Valley, and all that. That it's just like, when I first moved here, I was just walking through the grocery store and somebody just randomly talked to me. And I'm thinking, you know, are you a neighbor? I'm terrible with names, but have I met you? But no, it's just, that's Heber. And just, if you walk in somewhere, there's always somebody holding the door open for you. That's my biggest pet peeve in the world, is like, if I'm holding the door open, someone says thank you. Like, that, I could have the worst day of my life, and if someone does that, it's like, you're awesome. But it's just, you know, going over to Heber Brewery and, you know, just sitting there with my wife on a Saturday afternoon, somebody will just randomly come up, and whether he wants to talk about trucks, barbecues, or anything and everything, I love, because that's the type of person I am.
Right.
But yeah, that's the small town feel. I feel like a lot of people might get in the small towns of, you know, Orange County, LA. Like if you live in like Laguna Beach, you might feel like that small town. But there's nothing like a small town. It's almost like the movies. Like, call me crazy, but during the Christmas time, I might watch a Hallmark Channel movie here and there. And a lot of times they're in a small town, and before I moved here, I'm like, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Heber is that. And I know Heber is building and all of that, but I know that from where I'm from, Heber will always be that small town compared to where I was, where you were. I mean, Los Angeles is huge. You're going to see a person, you can have an hour conversation with them, and the chances of you ever seeing them again is slim to none. Where here, I'm probably going to see them 5 more times this month.
Right.
Which is awesome.
Or in the same day, even.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, so funny how you brought up the Hallmark thing, something that I'm not sure if you know, but do you know how many films are actually filmed here in Heber Valley?
No.
A lot.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll actually pull up some recent statistics that I was looking at with some of, like, 10 new movies that have just been filmed here locally, which is kind of neat. So,
you know, I feel kind of honored, but Yellowstone is a big part, and they filmed multiple episodes or portions of that show out in this general area. So it's kind of cool to, when I'm talking to people, friends and family back in California, it's like, well, guess what? I'm closer to John Dutton or Rip than you are, city boy.
Right.
But, I can't claim that yet, because I feel like after 5 years, you're able to say I'm a local. I'm far from. So
I can officially say that now?
Yeah, I'll allow you.
Oh, wow. All right. I didn't know I finally made it to status.
Yeah.
I don't know if I fully feel that way, but the community definitely has helped me feel that way for sure. I hope they have with you too, and I'm glad that we were able to jump on this podcast. We've made about a good half hour, so I think we touched pretty much everything that I kind of wanted to make sure we touched on. Seems like you kind of got your last your little inspirational speech out there. That man, I feel like I want to go take on the world right now.
Or watch a Hallmark show.
or a Hallmark show. Maybe we'll pull up one of those ones that just recently got filmed here and watch it for the rest of the evening. But anyways, thank you guys for joining us. I hope that you can go and support Andrew. Again, in the comments, we will have all of his information so that you can hire him for any of your barbecue cleaning or any estate services. And again, there will be a link for that $25 off deal that he's offering. So thank you again for joining us. And please also drop in DM for me. Let me know what you thought about the show. This is kind of one of the first episodes that I've kind of had my stuff together, and I'm just trying to get some feedback and seeing what was interesting, and if you guys are liking it. So thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.